What's up, this is David, and I'm here in Japan, in Fukuoka at Ohori Park, and I'll kind of give you like a view of the park here. And it's a sick little park with like this lake in the middle, and there's a bunch of like swan boats in the back. I don't know if you can see, but it's a huge place. And so today what I want to talk about is the lifestyle business and how it gives us the flexibility to come out and live a little and to come out to places like this, right? So I feel like the lifestyle stuff, it's like a full circle paradigm, because like in the beginning as entrepreneurs, like we essentially get into like the online entrepreneurship kind of stuff for a better life, right? So that we can have freedom. But then we get so caught up in like the forest sometimes, we get so deep in the forest that we essentially forget our purpose. Like our purpose was to live a better life. But then because we get stuck in the business so much that we forget that purpose. And so a lot of times, a lot of smart people, what I'm seeing, what I have seen, is they come back full circle, dude. They come back full circle. And what I mean by that is, like, in the beginning, you wanted like a lifestyle business. A lot of us, that's why we got into the business, for the freedom. But then we lose track of that. And then smart people, when they realize it, they like come back full circle. It's like, yeah, I got into this business for freedom, and then they come back full circle, and then they start like optimizing for life now, right? Because it made no sense. Like, especially in my past business, my marketing agency, I was just like working like all day long, weekends included. I never had time to like come out to places like this every once in a while, right? So I recognize that pattern in a lot of smart people, and I'm referring to like some of my notes here, and I try to give you like a good view. Hope you're getting like a good view, and hope I'm also in focus as well. It's been a while since I've done one of these outside, and I'm trying to keep it, I'm trying to keep it real, right? I'm trying to keep it as authentic as possible. But I recognize like smart people like start doing this, like Sam Ovens, right? He had a recent interview where he was like, it's all about fun. Like I'm trying to optimize for fun, because when you have fun, that comes with longevity, right? When something is really fun to you, but looks like work to others, like this is a classic Naval thing, then that you can do that for a really, really long time. Right? And like the whole thing with like school is like he optimizes it to have fun. Like sometimes he does stuff like for the fun of it. Like he made that whole like cat mascot thing for like the fun of it, right? It has no other purpose than just like for like entertainment purposes. So I feel like a lot of smart people are starting to like recognize that. And even like Alex Hormozy, like in a recent interview with like Tony Robbins, he was saying like, or like it was more like a coaching session with Tony, and Tony was like, bro, like you gotta like optimize for happiness every once in a while, like, and then you can see like the paradigm shift going through Alex during the interview, right? It's like, this whole time I was saying like fuck happiness, but maybe that was like the wrong route, right? And so I'm seeing like a lot of people, smart people, coming back full circle, right? So it's like that 4-hour work week, like Tim Ferriss talks about, right? Like living that 4-hour work week lifestyle. Although I don't really believe in like the 4-hour portion, I feel like that's a little bit too low, because you still have to like find fulfillment. Like if the work that you are doing is not fulfilling you, is not purposeful to you, then maybe you should be in a different line of work, right? So like even for my work right now, I love doing it, right? I love working. But it also, again, like you should have the flexibility to come out of it every once in a while. And like I feel like going on breaks like this, and like like stepping away from the business is like the ultimate time test of the business. Like will things break when I get back to the business? Like will things still be operating when I get back? So that's like a good time test that I find. But yeah, it's like that 4-hour work week like style, that business life that Tim philosophized a long time ago. And then now what I'm trying to do is trying to just make it more modern, with more leverage in place, right? More like a digital leverage in place. So a lot of times, and like, because this is like such a real video, I don't really know what I'm going to talk about except for like some of my notes here. I'm going to be everywhere, by the way, so I'm going to go off like on many different like tangents here and there. But sometimes we become like prisoners of our own creation, right? We create our own golden leash, our own golden handcuffs, our own golden jails sometimes. And of course, because we live in the digital world, we create like a digital jail for ourselves a lot of times. So we also got to live life, right? That's the whole point I'm trying to say is like, and the whole point of the lifestyle business is to live life. And there's a lot of limiting beliefs around like the lifestyle type of stuff, because it's like, oh, well, with the lifestyle stuff, like you can't make that much money. It's like, no, I want to show you like the different paradigms that I've been, and these are not like original ideas. Like I'm bouncing ideas off of other people, but it's like, dude, when you see somebody like making like 7-8 figures, and then they're doing it with like so much freedom, and then just being able to like travel, with like a very small team, it like breaks your limiting beliefs, dude. So it's not just about the freedom part, but it's also about profit, right? It's freedom and impact. It's like lifestyle and profit, and how we can do both, because we have leverage, and like I talk about a lot, like digital leverage lifestyle. And by the way, there's a lot of people walking behind me, so hopefully I'm not distracted here. So a lot of times, like, we over optimize the money portion, and especially for beginners, right? And don't get me wrong, like, you should make a ton of money, you should make a ton of profit, but that shouldn't be like the only thing that life shouldn't just be about, hitting more numbers in your bank account. Again, it's like going back to life. In a video game where you have like different stats, where you have like, like the life, like health, you have like strength, you have like agility, like you have all these different strengths, right? And I feel like when you're like over optimizing for just money, you're just like stacking one stats, and you're not really balancing out the character, right? You're like over optimizing like power, for example, right? And so you have a character who's like so freaking powerful, but then like somebody comes and like hits you once and then you die, right? You know what I mean? So I feel like that's kind of like the equivalent when you're just over optimizing like the revenue number, like hitting like $2 billion in your business revenue, but then you don't have a life. You don't have like relationship, you don't have friends, you don't have the freedom to be out here in like adventure, like that sense of feeling alive, right? And so I feel like we have to balance our life in certain ways where it's not just over optimized in a certain stat, right? So, and like sometimes we get greedy with this stuff, right? Like once we start making that money, that profit, greed just takes over us. And then, yeah, like when you come from like nothing, like I have, it's like, and then you see a bunch of money coming into your bank account, it's like, you want to keep doing it, right? So you want to keep doing it, but then there has to be a point where you also have to, and I feel like a broken record here, but you also have to come back to life and like living life. And I hope it doesn't take you freaking like 16, 17 years to realize this, like I have. hope you can get to that realization a lot sooner. But sometimes we just get too greedy, dude. Sometimes it's just too like leaning to like one stat, right? So you have to take life as a whole into perspective, and not just optimizing for like that power stat, like I talked about, right? And I hope I'm like, I'm practicing what I preach here, because I took a break. I forced myself to take a break, to be out here, to freaking enjoy the park, enjoy kind of nature, but it's also city at the same time. And the thing is, like, I'm in the middle of a launch right now. I'm like launching like the free group, and also launching the group, the inner circle stuff. And even then I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna take a break, or else I'm gonna be stuck in that whole like overworking thing philosophy again, right? And I think it's like ikigai. We all know like ikigai, right? That philosophy where it's like when you have like 4 different Venn diagrams here, it's like what you love doing, what you're good at, what you can get paid for, and then like what the world needs, and like right in the center is like your ikigai, or I think it means like purpose in life or something, right? But I think there can be a different version of ikigai, because nowadays you can practically monetize everything, right? And so I think we should be leaning towards what we love doing, that love portion, that passion portion that a lot of us are missing. And you'll tend to recognize that once you have a passion for something, like nowadays with like the internet, like YouTube and everything, you can monetize anything, dude. Like, so I think we should be leaning more towards like the passion circle side of like the whole ikigai thing, right? Because and the reason why like the whole ikigai thing that it exists is like because a lot of people they might be good at what they do, and they might get paid for what they do, but they might not necessarily love it. You know, you might be really good at something and get paid really well doing it, but then that's not like what you love doing, right? So it has to like fit like that love section too, like that passion section too. That's what I feel like, and I feel like more people should lean into that circle. So it's like we're using ikigai, but then we're using it with much more leverage, and of course like the knowledge that we have today, and using internet as our landscape, we have an equal playing field with like everybody else in the world, if you think about it, right? Because back in the day, in order to get like market your stuff, or even for like popularity stuff, like we had to pay a lot of money to do it. Like in order to like pay for like TV commercials, or like to get yourself like famous, you needed like to be in like a Hollywood film to be like famous, or you need to pay like millions of dollars to be in a TV commercial. But nowadays we don't even need that. You can just freaking make a video and then have thousands, if not millions of people just watching the thing, right? So what used to cost us millions of dollars in the past now doesn't cost as much at all. You just need a video camera with an internet connection. So we have like an internet, or we have like an equal playing field now. And we can be compensated in multiple different ways, right? So the thing is, like, we shouldn't be aiming for popularity. Like, this is one of the philosophies in like the freedom world, right? We're not aiming for popularity, we're aiming for profitability. So we don't necessarily have to have 100K subscribers, right? In fact, I know many people that have millions of subscribers or millions of followers that make like 20, 30K a year. Like, you know what I mean? But then I know people who have like 10K, maybe not even that, and they're making millions of dollars, you know? A lot of like the example I go back to a lot is like the Taki. He freaking has like what, 10K followers, but then he's making 8 figures. He's making like 1.6 million a month. You know what I mean? And not only that, but not everybody is on the internet, dude. Like, you can make millions of dollars without having to, you know, be quote unquote popular. So what we're aiming to do is aiming for profitability and like quality. Like it's the classic like 300 Spartan warriors versus like 1 million farmers. Like who would you rather have on your team, right? So it's more about like the quality and more about profitability, and of course with that comes how you can help people on a deeper level, right? And yeah, I think now we can do both. We can do everything. We can achieve lifestyle. We can achieve profit. We can achieve freedom. We can achieve impact. And I think with this model especially, because I really tried to optimize and really try to engineer, reimagine this whole thing in a way that optimizes for that. And, you know, hopefully I'm like practicing what I preach by actually living it, by actually coming out here and kind of taking a little break and enjoying myself a little. So that's all I have for this video. Hopefully it wasn't like too out of place. Hopefully the audio is coming through, and then like I'm not used to like taking selfies like this. So I keep like looking at the screen and not at the camera. So hopefully you understand that. But yeah, that's all I had for this video. Remember to not just aim for a lot of profit, but of course make a lot of profit too. But then also aim to have a adventurous life and just have that sense of adventure, man. Have that sense of like being alive. You know, I think there was that saying like what the world needs is okay, I forgot what the saying was, but it was something like what the world needs is like more people who come alive, right? That's what the world needs. So in order to help what the world needs, come alive, right? That's like the ultimate point. It's like to come alive and have that sense of living to your fullest. So that's all I had for this video. If you liked this video, I would appreciate a like and a sub, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.